Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial about how to add Steam achievements and Steamworks to your Unity game. Let's go. Okay, so first thing that you're going to want to do is Google the Facepunch Steamworks API. Basically, it's a wrapper for the Steamworks API. Steamworks is written in C++. We need something that's going to convert our C# into C++. So you're going to open up the front page. There's documentation. We're going to go to the install page. We're going to go to the release page on Git. And then you're going to want to download this zip file here. You don't want the source. So go ahead and install that. I already have a copy here ready to go. What you're going to want to do is take one of these, go ahead and extract it. And you're going to get these three sets of folders. You have Net46, NetStandard 2.0, and Unity. Unity is the only one that we're going to be using. I would suggest renaming it because we're actually going to be putting this file inside of the project files of our project. And so having it called Unity doesn't really tell us what it is. And so I'm just going to call this Steamworks. Okay. And so now that we have that, let's open up our project in Unity. And I'm going to go ahead and make a scripts folder. Open up our scripts folder, and we're going to take our Steamworks file and just drop it right in there. Now, if we created a new C# script, I'm going to call this Steam Manager. Steam Manager. Okay. All right. And so now that we're in our Steam Manager, we're going to have to solve three big things. Okay. And for that, I'm going to go ahead and dictate. I'm going to go back to this. So there's three things. Okay. We're going to be initializing Steam and making sure that we're connected. We're going to be running callbacks every single frame to make sure that Steam is running properly. And we're also going to be disconnecting properly once the game closes. Okay. And so the way that we're going to do that is that we're going to need to create a singleton instance of this. So let's go ahead and do that instance. And so basically what a singleton is just a way to make sure that there's one instance of something. And so if instance is equal to null, then we're going to set instance equal to this, and we're going to set don't destroy on load. Okay, so that's just going to make sure that in all future scenes, this is going to come with us. It's going to continue to be the instance no matter how many scenes we change through. And then it basically, what happens when you go to a scene where one of these already exists, but it's not initialized? It's going to see that there's already an instance in this class, and it's going to go ahead and destroy itself. Okay, and so now that we've gone ahead and we've checked for our instance, we're going to need a couple more things. So I'm going to add two private variables here, and one of them is going to be a private uint called our app ID. And that's going to be equal to whatever the code that Steam gave you was. If you sign up for the Steamworks API, or it's just a Steamworks account, and you're approved, and then you pay the Steam Direct fee, you're going to get an app ID for basically your spot on Steam. And that's the number that's going to go there. And then we're also going to add a private bool, which is connected to Steam. Okay, so basically we're just going to use that in the future to make sure that we know if we're connected to Steam or not. And so that's going to stop us from calling things inside of the API if there's no connection to Steam, right? It's like, why would we waste the processing power on that? And so at this point, we're going to start going down our three steps, initialization, updates, and then closing. So here, what we're going to do is, you might not have seen this syntax before. We're going to make a try statement, and we're going to call Steamworks .steamClient .init, and in there we're going to pass in our app ID. Okay, And then we're going to set connected to Steam equals true. Now, after that goes through, we're going to catch system.exception, and then we need a reference to the exception that it outputs. And so what this is going to do is that if Steamworks runs and it fails to connect to the Steam API, it's then going to throw an error. We're going to catch that error, and we're going to do whatever we need to do if we're unable to connect to Steam. So this is going to be stuff like, if you don't want to have players, basically if they fail validation, you're going to show them a UI element that tells them this is why you can't play our game, and then you're going to close it. Or you can just close it, do whatever you want to do. But in this case, if we catch an exception, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to set connected to Steam to false. Okay, now that we've done that, we've gone ahead and we've officially initialized on Steam. Okay, then in our update, we're going to want to call Steam callbacks. So if we're connected to Steam, then we want to call steamworks.steamclient.run callbacks. Okay, and then after that, we're going to have to figure out our closing. And so in this case, because there's going to be multiple places in your game where you're probably going to want to be able to close the game, you might have the option to exit through an in-game menu. You might have the option to exit through the main menu. You might exit after the credits. There's a bunch of instances that you might want to exit the game, or different ways that you might want to do it. And so I would say make this public. And so we're going to just call this disconnect from Steam. And what we're going to want to do is, if we are connected to Steam, we want to call steamworks.steamclient.shutdown. Okay, and that takes care of that. All right, so now that we've done our 3 steps, we're able to initialize Steam, we're able to run Steam callbacks, and we're able to disconnect from Steam. Now we can implement achievements. And the way that I did that personally is that I use an index-based system, which I then translate to an enum in engine. So in your Steamworks page, you're going to have the ability to set up your achievements. And so you can set them up with an API name, which in my case, I'm just using achievement underscore and then whatever the index is. Okay, and then it has like your display name, your description, your achieved icon, and your unachieved icon. Okay, so there's going to be 2 things that we're going to need. And so what I would suggest is that you start out with making a public enum, which it can be called anything, but basically you're going to need to list out your achievements in the same way that they are listed on this page. So as you can see, our intro achievement is number 0, breathless or running out of air is number 1, and then die to power is number 2, and so on and so forth. Okay, and that just makes it easier to translate indexes to real English words. It's just so, whoever's working on this doesn't have to remember the index of everything. They can just look at the enum, and if it's properly mapped, they can unlock the correct achievement by just entering the correct enum. And the other thing that we're going to need is we're going to need a private int total number of achievements. All right, and so for me, it's going to be 10. And you can tell by, if I go up here and I have my button number, it's 9. But it just like every index starts at 0. So it's 9 plus 1, it's 10. All right. And so down here, we need to add a couple new things for unlocking achievements. Okay, so we're going to start out with a public unlock achievement. And we are going to take that enum that we just made, and then we're just going to call it achievement to unlock. Okay. And so with that, what we now need to do is we need to check if we're connected to Steam. And if we are connected, we're going to fetch the achievement information based on whatever we passed in, which in this case, we are going to use achievement to unlock. However, because we're using the index, we need to cast this as an int. And so that's just going to convert this enum that we're putting in back into an int. All right, and so after we have that information, we can just go ahead and call achievement.trigger. Okay? And then, if you wanted to do a meta achievement, this is how you do it. So let's just, for the sake of this, let's program a platinum achievement. Check for platinum achievement. This is private because no other script needs access to this. So whenever we earn an achievement, let's do a check to see if we now need to award the platinum achievement. All right, and so in our check for the platinum achievement, it's going to kind of consist of a couple of parts. So we need the ability to tell how many achievements we need, and then we need to tell how many achievements we have, and if those numbers are equal, then trigger this achievement. You can do the same thing with boss achievements. So like, if you know that you need indexes 4, 5, and 6, then make a loop that goes through indexes 4, 5, and 6, and if all of them are true, then award your meta boss achievement. And so to recap that, let's just enter this. So we need the number of achievements required, which is going to equal our total number of achievements minus 1, right? Because we have all of our achievements, which include the platinum achievement, and then we're going to take away that platinum achievement and leaving us the set minus that. And then we need the number of achievements, the number of unlocked achievements found. And that's going to start out equal to 0. Okay. We are then going to do a for loop, which is going to look through the number of achievements required, right? So that's going to loop through our index 0 all the way through our index 9 in this case. Our index 8, so that we can tell if we have all of them. And what this is going to do is we need to begin by fetching our information. So let's go ahead and do that. But we're not going to pass this. Instead, we're going to pass I. And this is the benefit of using an enumeration and using an index-based setup, because now you can iterate through them very easily. And after we get the information, what we want to do is we want to see if achievement.state is equal to true, which means we've unlocked it. All right, and so if it's equal to true, we want to increase the number of unlocked achievements found by 1. All right, after the entire loop, like I said earlier, we're going to take the number of achievements found, and if that number of achievements found is equal to the number of achievements required, then we're going to unlock this achievement, right? And so the way that we're going to do that, this is kind of the same way that you would reference any of the other ones, is that you are going to cast this as an int, and you're going to pass in eAchievement.platinum. Okay? So we're going to fetch the information on the platinum achievement, and then we're going to trigger the platinum achievement. And there you go. Now you've programmed a platinum achievement into your game. You're probably going to want to be able to reset your achievements, and so let's make a function that does that. Okay, and so void reset all achievements. And this is going to run a for loop. It's going to loop through your total number of achievements. And it's going to fetch the information on that achievement. And then after it fetches the information on the achievement, it's going to call achievement.clear. And so whenever you want to reset your achievement, you basically would just throw this inside of your awake method. and then allow it to run once and then remove it. And that's just going to clear all your achievements so that you can try to unlock them again. And so that's it, guys. Now you're able to add Steamworks to your project, you're able to implement achievements, and you're able to check for meta achievements. And so thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. Let me know if you had any problems, and I'll try to address them. And yeah, have a good day.